You're listening to The Sports Moment, February 14th, 2024. Part of the Sports Moments and Memories with Craig Olson podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a sports moment. Sponsored by Pemberton Law and Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Lake Area Docks and Lifts, more than just docks and lifts. Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
The Otter girls hockey team is headed back to state. They won the Section 6A title last night, beating Northern Lakes by a score of 5-1. Hannah Johnson scored a hat trick in the game for the Otters as they outshot the Lightning 28-6 in that contest. I was able to connect with head coach Tim Lill, and I asked Coach Lill if the Otters came out with some energy in that game.
We came out with some energy. It was pretty slappy. You can generally expect that in a section championship game. There's a lot of nerves. No one really keeps the puck on their stick real clean. But we had good hustle and we had a good forecheck, and we kept it in their end quite a bit before we settled down. And then I think we knocked two in the first or something. I can't remember, but our first period was pretty good.
And holding an opponent to only 6 shots on goal makes it really difficult for them to get anything going offensively, Coach.
Yeah, and sometimes it felt like more than that, but we had really good sticks in the high scoring chances in our end. I think we had 5 blocks, and 6 shots on net, but we had some really good sticks that took away. Right before they were going to get the shot off, we had some steals. I would say 6-8 of them that took away grade A chances. So it seemed like they had more opportunity, but with our good sticks, that really helped.
Talk about Hannah Johnson. 3 goals last night. Is Hannah one of those players that just seems to rise to the occasion when there's a big game?
Yeah. Well, she plays her heart out every single game. And, it's kind of the way it runs with these Johnson kids. I've coached, 3 of them, 3 out of the 16 or however many Mark has. Is it 6? No, I think it's only 8. But they all play like that. You challenge them, and then they'll just go above and beyond. And I'm glad that she got her 3 goals, but she was so good in the corners and on the back check and in the neutral zone. She had great sticks, and all the things you need from a great player.
One of the struggles this year has been scoring goals. Do you feel that in the last couple of weeks your team has turned the corner offensively?
Yeah, we've found some goals. Granted, it's not against the elite teams that we had a hard time scoring against. Where we have probably 15 great scoring chances tonight at least. When you play a really good team, you may have only 4 to 7, and you have to score in those. That's what I'm trying to get through to the girls is when we have grade A chances against really good opponents, we have to learn to bury them. So the opponent wasn't quite as strong the last couple 3 games, which has given us more chances to kind of settle in down low and try to find some corners and move the goalie a little bit, and I think we've got whatever it was, 5, 6, and 7 goals, or I don't know, something like that. But it's fun. It's fun. The girls like to score goals too, so maybe that'll help moving forward.
You had a really tough schedule. Some quality teams, non-conference teams, non-section teams that you were up against during the regular season. Do you feel your schedule has prepared you well for this time of the year and what you're going to see at state?
Yeah, and I know we won't get seeded to the top 5. I don't believe. I know that at least the top 3 are going to be extremely good hockey teams. But the common opponents that we do have, the Gentrys and Warroads and stuff like that, that we played to 1-goal games. And some of these other teams have played Warroad and won or lost close games too. So what it comes down to is down at the state tournament is scoring when you get your chance, and then Yeah, and it's goaltending. It's always goaltending, and I like who we got in net right now. She's going to give us a chance in any game.
Yeah, Anna Jerkas, she is the wild card. A hot goalie can carry a team anytime during the year, and especially at tournament time. So it'll be fun to see how the Otters stack up when they compete against the best in the state in Class A next week at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul. Pemberton Law Firm carries a legacy of trustworthy and reputable legal representation dating all the way back to 1883. You can visit Pemberton Law in Fergus Falls, Wadena, Detroit Lakes, and Alexandria, and of course online at pemlaw.com. They, along with Lake Area Docks and Lifts, sponsor our podcast, and we appreciate both sponsors. You know, Lake Area Docks and Lifts is excited about maybe an early spring and a long summer, a summer of fun on the water, and they are there to help you get ready and to maintain throughout the summer lots of fun with the water sports and water activities that we enjoy in Lakes Country. Lake Area Docks and Lifts, serving you from 5 convenient locations across Lakes Country.
Lake area docks and lifts, more than just docks and lifts. Lake area docks and lifts.
Lots of action last night on the local front as far as high school basketball goes, and let's get to it. A couple of overtime games on the boys' side, including a double overtime win for Kellen Shebeck's Underwood Rockets. They were in Hancock, and they came home with an 89-86 victory. Drew Evevold had 26 to lead the Rockets, and then 24 for Hudson Risbrut. So good night for those two guys and for the Rockets with an impressive Little 8 Conference road victory. Battle Lake won an LEC game at home, beating Ashby in overtime by a score of 75-69. Fergus Falls knocked off Ricori last night, 75-62. Henry Bethel, 19 points, 8 rebounds. Ryan Hurst, 19 points, 9 rebounds, couple of blocked shots as the Otters pick up the victory. Brandon Evansville was a winner at Border West. 61-56 was the final there. Luke Christensen and Noah Brumfield each scored 23 for Hillcrest as they beat Rothsay 81-40. It was Pelican Rapids over Barnesville 68-61. That one was tied at 61 when Pelican Rapids got a big basket, a three-pointer from Charlie Larson, and that gave them the lead, and they did not allow another point by Barnesville in the last stretch as Charlie Larson wound up with 20 points and the Vikings wound up with a 68-61 win. And Gannon Bowlgreen, who's been really steady for the Trojans all year, had another big night, 25 points and 10 rebounds. Perham defeated Breckenridge 75-42 in boys basketball. It was Park Rapids area 74, Frazee 55. Cale Missigatis scored 36 last night to lead Henning past Parker's Prairie 76-49. Kind of spoiled the party for Dylan DeBilzen, who reached 1,000 career points in that game last night for the Panthers. Park Christian School took care of New York Mills 73-39, and West Central area improved to 18-3 on the season. They had 9 different guys score, had 4 in double digits, led by Camden Anderson with 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists as they beat Wadena Deer Creek 73-65. On the girls' side of things, Liz Lucken poured in 32 to lead Underwood to a 71-37 win over Hillcrest. Frazee knocked off Park Rapids area 70-59. The Otters won at Ricori 46-42. Bryn Sternberg with 18. Brandon Evansville over Ashby 62-22. Kennedy Cameron scored 32, hit 5 threes in the game for Battle Lake, but they lost in Graceville 69-59. Emily Kellen had 29 to lead the Wolverines. It was Parker's Prairie over Rothsay 66-57. Hancock beat Wheaton Herman Norcross 74-41. Also, Holly got Lake Park Audubon 60-55 as Izzy Steer scored 27. Willow Thiel with 28 last night as Perham won at home against Detroit Lake 75-42. They celebrated their Junior Jackets program, had about 110 kids in the elementary grades who were there. And it was Verndale beating Henning 54-44. Bertha Hewitt fell at home to New York Mills 56-55. Also, the Lady Spartans had a game last night. Trinity Bible College was in town, and Trinity only scored 1 point in the first quarter. They're down 12-1 after one. They fought back throughout the game and won the fourth quarter 15-7, and that gave them the win in the game 47-43. Spartans had kind of a shorthanded roster last night. Mo Bugby did not play. Jana Grunwald played sparingly. She was sick throughout the game, did not have her best game, and Maddie Ballweg left with a sprained ankle. So Jody Holloman was dealing with a short bench and a short roster last night in that one. They will host Rochester in their final home contests of the division season on Saturday. Ladies at 1, men at 3 in the Spartan Gym. So that was a busy Tuesday night locally. And the Minnesota Timberwolves got it done again on the road as they won in Portland 121-109. You know, prior to that game, Anthony Edwards was experiencing some right knee soreness. He didn't even know if he'd be playing last night. He decided to give it a try, and it's a good thing he did. He had 41 points last night as the Timberwolves defeat the Trailblazers 121-109. Rudy Gobert with 16 points, 15 rebounds. He has now recorded 6 consecutive double-doubles. And the Wolves have won 3 in a row, and they'll try to make it 4 in a row when they take on the Trailblazers again in Portland tomorrow night. They are 38-16, a game up on Oklahoma City, and 2 ahead of Denver in the NBA's Western Conference standings. And the Minnesota Wild are at it tonight in Arizona, taking on the Coyotes. The Wild have won 3 in a row, 6 of their last 8. They're climbing their way up the standings. They are now 3 points ahead of Arizona. They trail Nashville by 3 and St. Louis by 5 as they try to get into the upper half of the Central Division standings and back into the top 8 in the Western Conference. Still some work to do, but they'll get that work started tonight when they take on Arizona. Arizona has won the only meeting so far between the two teams by a score of 6-0. And again, congratulations to the Otter girls hockey team, headed to state as Section 6A champions. And they'll be in action next week at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul. More on that once the seeding is determined and the pairings are determined for the quarterfinal round of that state tournament. Hey, thanks for joining us on the podcast. Tell your friends about us on Sports Moments and Memories with Craig Olson.
You've been listening to The Sports Moment with Craig Olson, sponsored by Pemberton Law and Lake Area Docks and Lifts. Produced by Sunroom Lab. Music by Blue Red Roses. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and thanks for listening.